South Texas Amateur Tour Podcast, The Power Hour, with your hosts, Travis Silkowski, Michael Termanuelian, Casey Graham, Jason Bird, and Brad Gilbert.
Good evening, South Texas Amateur Golf Tour. Oh, shit, I made it worse.
Yes.
No, I made it worse. South Texas Amateur Golf Tour, what is going on? MD here, joined by Brad Gilbert and Jason Bird. We are live here at San Pedro. South Texas Match Play Challenge, live from San Pedro. We have a full setup here. We have behind us, you can see all of our players getting some practice in, having some fun. Here comes T. Sal.
What up, everybody?
Travis, what do we got going on tonight?
Live practice session. I don't know if we can hear us all here.
We are good.
All right, terrific. What's up, everybody? This is one of the cooler shows of the year. Live from San Pedro driving range, team practice session. Thank you for having me on the show tonight. Thank you for stepping away from your practice session to host the show.
It was just turning into a long drive contest, and I wasn't going to win. So I was happy to leave
it. was a good time.
Like you're getting close.
I was happy to leave it.
I dropped the fat one and let Dennis go over there and get some balls.
All right.
But this is the 2024 South Texas Match Play Challenge team. We are here. This is our second official practice session. Team uniform night. All team members have almost all of the team uniform. It looks so good. I love this. Is my favorite uniform.
Only one person didn't get theirs.
But this is a cool night. I love live from the driving range. It's not in a studio set. There's no script. Completely live.
Rarely is there a script.
It is. Well, listen, we pretend there's a script. Like I make comments about pre-show warm-ups. You know.
Of course.
Pre-show warm-up consists of, oh my God, today sucked.
Yes.
What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, I need to go get a snack before the show starts.
I'm gonna go eat something. Start without me.
But
I'm gonna shower. I'll be back in 5 minutes.
No snack tonight. I'm gonna go captain with the team, co-captain Jason Bird, live on the air with you guys tonight. I know we're gonna talk with Rick Hoynesy, Elevated Logistics, sponsor of the South Texas Match Play Challenge team this year. He's here. He's pumped. He's actually practiced a couple times going out, has a caddy for the event.
Yes.
I'm going to go out tomorrow, play a practice round, so he is in it to win it. And that's what I really wanted to say about this team. Last year's team, statistically, the handicaps were a little lower, but the give a shit level on this team and the grind it out level and the nose to the grindstone, and combine that with some personality. Yeah. This year's team's got some flavor, and it is fun.
Number
to go.
one personality man right there.
And it is good to go, and it is fun, and it's a blast, and it's this really cool combination of seriousness and good time. Yeah. And it's really cool blend. But I'm gonna go hang out on the driving range with the team. You guys take it away. Come get me when you want me to sub somebody out.
Yeah. So we're gonna have
Thanks for watching, everybody.
We'll have Ricky Ho join the show. We are going to have joining us from his home, David Falconier of Shelby AC and Refrigeration. But before we do that, we have Assistant Captain Jason Bird here. Jay Bird, talk to us a little bit about your thoughts going into this weekend, obviously Saturday, Sunday. What's kind of the plan that you and Travis are working on in just regards to how you want, on what you're kind of hoping to see out of the team early on? Obviously, we got 10 points available on Saturday. Is there a certain number that you think, hey, if we're at 4 points, 5 points on Saturday, historically we have a good run in singles? Yeah. Is there a Saturday number you're aiming for?
Yeah. When we make the pairings, we almost always give strokes as a team. So, Travis and I do a lot. Of course, we have to put everyone through gin. So whoever doesn't have gin, I have to take their last 10 scores. I take everyone's last 20 scores through Golf Genius, and I do trend lines. And I try to pair people who are trending up together. And I try to put two people who are not trending together as a grenade type.
Yeah.
Like they're the sacrificial lamb. They're going to take their low handicaps, our high handicaps. That just means if they win, it's a bonus point. As far as team goes, that's typically where we don't do as well. They get more shots, so they have more of a margin for error, so to speak. I think Travis and I, being honest, would be ecstatic with a split, targeting 4.
Yep.
And then anything above 5 is just gravy.
Yeah.
Because singles is where we're going to dominate. But I think if you ask Travis and I right now, if we could go to Sunday, skip Saturday 4-6, we would take that in a heartbeat. What we're really trying to avoid is the 1-9-2-8.
Yeah.
You can't win it on day one, but you sure as shit can get yourself out of it.
Yeah.
So we do have one match that we have lesser confidence in. I won't name it because I won't put those people on the spot. But that's just the strategy behind the curtain.
But that's based off the strength of the Houston team as well, right?
Right. It's based off their trend lines and stuff like that. And just knowing we have to give so many strokes, we're kind of sacrificing one.
Yeah.
To ensure that we can be more competitive in more matches.
Yeah.
And the same strategy applies in singles. But this year we got a lot luckier, I guess. This year we have a lot more people trending up than we did last year.
Yeah.
I went back and looked at the workbook I made last year. Nearly half the team was technically on a downtrend. We don't share those with the team members. People don't need to know that. They may not be aware of it,
Sure.
But just to know that that's the statistics we put behind it. Because Travis and I do take it seriously. We want to win. I'm a stats guy. Travis is a field guy, so we complement each other that way. I do my recommendations. Like the pairings that came out from Travis, he ultimately overruled on 2 day 1 and 3 day 2 matches than what the stats would show, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's a good blend.
And I mean, obviously, you guys are out there building the team. I did get to kind of see where everyone was trending, and I got to get those numbers and stuff. It's really cool, just the mix of players that we have. And I think it's also, I think this might be one of the better years represented of every flight that we have as well. We saw a lot of strong play out of those usual 4th, 3rd, and 2nd flighters. First and champ, obviously well represented, but there are definitely some more players out here that normally wouldn't have a look at the team. They just are playing much better golf.
Yeah, I think what you find throughout the season is your 3rd and 4th fighters that make the team are the ones who are more dedicated to getting better.
Yeah.
So
Art Mace is a perfect call.
A lot of those guys are trending up. So they carried a tour handicap of like 15, but they're really playing like an 8. And we can't hide those players in the match play tournament because, to be fair to Houston, we throw the last 10 tournament scorers if we have them. If we don't have them, then we go ask for other scores if that's verifiable and all that. But we put out a gin, so they are playing to their gin over recency, right? So the tour handicap, I'm not going to say manipulated, but if you start really dedicating yourself to getting better, you can have a really good run where you have that safety net of net because you have such a high handicap. That golfer in this event doesn't have that safety net because now they're not exposed because they made the team as a 15 on tour, but they're only getting 7 in the match play.
Yep.
Sure. Yeah.
Brad, obviously returning to the team. You've got some experience under your belt. You're a good match play golfer. And you got to go play Riverside this weekend during our first practice session. How are you feeling about Riverside? How are you feeling about going into this weekend and your partnership with Ben Carricker?
Yeah, man, I feel a lot better just because Ben Carricker is my partner.
Yeah.
I mean, I could play with anyone on the team and be happy, but having Ben as a partner, that's gonna be awesome. We talked about it. It's like we're gonna have fun, and we're just gonna go all out.
Yep.
And we both love Riverside. I mean, it's in great condition. I mean, it's probably some of the best greens in San Antonio, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm happy to make the team first of all, but I want to stay focused and continue to just be focused and be ready for the match.
Have you guys started talking at all about strategy? Because when I think about my partnership, and I'm playing with West and Irie. I'm playing the 0 in our team. I know Weston's going to get, maybe 2 pops, I think. Weston and I have had that conversation of, hey, I need you to just make the bars or better on the pop holes, find a birdie or 2, and we'll just needle to the death of bars.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. And for some reason, I am the 0 in the group. I'm not sure why. I know Ben's a lot better than me, but we did talk a little bit about that when we did the practice round. But we're so close, handicap wise for sure, that we're just going to go out there and try to make as many birdies as possible. Yeah, that's all there is to it.
Did you feel any? So for those of you who don't know, so it's at Riverside. We are not going to be playing the typical. We go out and set the pins that day. Or set the tee boxes. So we're going to be playing. All of the non-senior golfers will be playing from the scorecards, black tees or blue tees, technically.
No, I think it's black at Riverside.
Is it black?
That's right. Okay. It's the tip.
It's the tip. So it's basically 2 paces off the back.
It's the plate, yeah.
It's the plate.
Yeah.
Blues will be playing pretty much at what they're at.
Do you know what that yardage is from black?
Oh, I think it's 6,700.
Something like that. I mean, it was windy on Sunday.
Yeah.
But that course played long. Like normally I've never felt like that course played long before.
It's also wet right now.
That is also true.
Yeah, there's not really a lot of roll.
And we're expecting rain tomorrow, I think.
So 60% both days,
But I'm also interested. So as of right now, we've played the whole season. Lift clean and place in your own fairway, lift clean and rake and place in your bunker. Subject to change, obviously, with weather coming in. But in the event that we are in that situation where it is not playing lift clean and place, I think that drastically impacts how scores and how the rounds are going to play out. We played ball down and we were seeing mud bubbles.
Absolutely. We will play ball down as. We will push for that as best we can. That is how Houston plays their tournaments. It is my preferred way of playing tournaments. But to Brad's point, if it rains a half inch, inch and a half, and it's just too soggy, ultimately we're on the rules committee as well. We will implement lift clean place.
Yep.
Travis and I will be out there Friday marking GUR. There's a couple bare spots on 3 or 4 holes.
Course right now is great. The greens rolling really, really well. They were a little slow. I'm sure we'll see them get cut. But the lines were right on. It was like putting it back. You picked your line. It was good.
Absolutely. Yeah. We got some questions from Casey.
Oh my God. Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. I am living in a different world right now. We already talked about Brad. Captain, are you concerned the amount? Okay, that's a good one. Birdie, half the team is rookies this year. Maybe a little bit more than we usually see, especially maybe more than probably some more rookies in the higher flights that maybe aren't really used to being in this situation. How do you feel about the rookie kind of team that we have? And I know we're relying pretty heavily on making sure those rookies are getting paired up with someone who's been on the team before and in that place. But what kind of conversations have you had with some of the rookies just about how to manage their game during this? Because it's just such a different kind of environment for them.
Yeah, I'm not a therapist, so I'm not going to be able to help these guys. I'm not going to be able to help these guys with their nerves. They either do or they don't have that killer instinct, right? I don't think being a rookie will change whether you do or you don't. But I do think that if you don't and then you get smoked, it can light that fire, right? But I do discuss strategy because we don't play a match play except for San Pedro in February. It's a little different on the par 3. It's not the same strategy as you play on a big boy course. So I have discussed strategy with some of the rookies about how it is important to let that team have honors if they have it. It can be real easy to get lulled into a false sense of giving away something you shouldn't because, I've hit from the further tee box. It's just pace to play this. I'm going to hit first.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But you get to make a decision on some holes based on what your opponent did, right? I think about number 5. If you're the second one to hit and the first guy hits it in the right water, I mean, now that's a real easy choice for you, right? You're just going to lay up.
Yeah.
Maybe you should lay up anyway, but now it's not even a choice.
Even what about I know I ran into it, and I know we've seen it before. Haga typically doesn't let putts go as good. We're not throwing out a lot of good goods.
I think Haga is realistic. I'm gonna be honest with you, MD. A lot of grumbling we hear sometimes from our team. Well, they should give that, or like 3-footers.
Yeah.
And 3-footers for amateurs is like an 85% make rate.
Yeah.
I just think they're realistic.
I prefer not to have it given because I want to make that putt, and I want them to know every time you don't give it to me, I'm going to make it.
Exactly.
And we're just going to keep on going.
One of my favorite things to do in match play, and this has helped me quite a few times, so I'm a believer in it, is I give the first 2 or 3 3-footers.
Yep.
And then the minute I'm 1 up, 1 down, even, and I see a 3-footer up downhill, dead silent. You don't even acknowledge they exist. And suddenly they got to hit their first 3-footer when it really matters.
Yep.
That happened in my TPC match play last weekend, and I will tell you, I gave 3 3-footers on the front 9 and made someone putt 1 on 12, and they missed it.
Yep, absolutely.
And I would also say just never expect to be given a putt. Always be ready to make
If you have the mindset that you should be given a putt, you just get upset.
I have one of those faces where they're not going to like me no matter what, so I'm assuming they're not giving
That's
me
an ugly
anything.
face.
I'm like, that guy pisses me off. I see him and I don't like him. He's not getting anything. So I assume that,
Yeah.
and we just kind of go.
Ricky wants to.
Exactly.
Ricky.
No.
Let both of you get out. Let's bring
okay, that
Travis
sounds
and Rick in.
What up? Good job, guys. Get out. I was watching it.
I mean, it's my show. I don't care.
It was great. I'll let Ricky Ho get in the middle here.
All right.
Rick, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good. Thank you for joining us. How was your practice session started today? You got a little practice out there.
Yeah, okay. Not
That's a
bad.
great question. He asked for new deep questions tonight. He said,
New
don't
deep
ask me the
questions.
same questions. New deep questions. So get deep with Ricky Ho. Woo! All right, I'm back to work.
You're back
All
to
right,
work.
back to work. Okay.
Okay, Rick. Not your first team.
No, sir.
You've been here before.
Yes, sir.
What is your strategy when you roll into this kind of event? Do you have a strategy for? We were just talking about, we're talking about giving putts. Casey's got, or Bird's got the mindset. I don't give the first 2 or 3, or I give the first 2 or 3 3-footers, and then make him do it on the 4th hole, 5th hole when it's something big, and he hasn't had a look at one of those yet.
Yeah. This is my 3rd one. I did 1 in Houston, 1 here. Me personally, I'm not giving in.
Yeah.
I don't care. We put them during the year, put them out. I don't give you anything.
Yeah.
I've seen you miss from, 18 inches. So, buddy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to give him anything. If my partner wants to in the pairs or the 4-ball on Friday or
For
Saturday.
those out there, who is your partner this season?
Jeremy.
Jeremy Jaramillo.
Yes. And so we're going to give some pops on Saturday. I think they have 1 at 25 and 1 at 20. So we're going to give some double strokes on you hoes.
I mean, you got a hell of a partner to go do that with. You got a guy who can just go on a 7 birdie run,
right,
at times, which is what you need at times, especially when you're giving out double pops at times.
Yeah, well, we're doing that. And, we've kind of worked our thing out. He's going to just blast it. And every time we got the tee box, I want him hitting first. And I want him I told him, just murder it.
Yep.
Because if you're a 25, 20 handicap, and you're playing with someone of that caliber, and he is just murdering that tee shot, it takes you out of your comfort zone. Your play it to the middle, all of a sudden becomes, oh, that's not so good. He's almost on the green.
Well, I mean, it's not even out driving. It's if you're just pounding the middle of the fairways.
Yeah.
I think that's the other big piece of it. Is just I think finding fairways gives you such an advantage.
It does. I've worked a lot on my drive to keep it there so that we can do that. slow down a lot and quit trying to do that stupid swing where I'm trying to get her. Now play in the middle, and then I can let him just go for everything.
Yep. And so, obviously, this is our first time playing at Riverside. Talk to me about you've been playing long enough on the tour. How do you feel about Riverside in general? Like, just is that a comfortable course for you to go play?
Yeah, I like it. I played it for the first time since they shut down for the rehab, and played it for the first time last week, and then again this past weekend on our practice, and enjoyed it. I like the course. I think the fairways are as good as I've ever seen. The greens are ridiculous. I've been playing that course since I was a kid in the long time ago. Early 70s, and I've never seen greens like that. Yeah. I'd like to see a little more sand in the bunkers. A little more sand in the bunkers.
Let's just not hit in the bunker.
Right.
Let's just avoid bunker.
Stay out of the bunker. So, it took me a couple of holes, to figure that out, but I'm comfortable with it now.
Yeah.
I like it, and I think I'm anxious to play with Jeremy. We've played on a couple teams together and a bunch of tournaments during the year, so it'd be nice to be on the same side.
Yeah. And, I think the other thing, too, and I don't think we talk about it nearly enough, we've always acknowledged that we have a really good second day. Sundays typically work out well for us. I don't know Haga's schedule. I think we play a lot more 2-day events than they do. And so we get a little bit more comfort level, I guess, with grinding a Saturday and then go grind that Sunday. As far as that goes, do you feel like you reserve some energy, or do you try and kind of have a plan for how you go approach a Saturday, Sunday event as far as how you're utilizing your energy and your just general mental?
Yeah, I think on Saturday I'm going to be at what I've done in the past. What I like to do on Saturday is be a little more in the team concept. Yeah. And I'm playing off of my partner and what we're doing. Whereas on Sunday, I'm just focused in. I'm not talking. Yeah. And that's hard on me. I like to go kid and have a beer or something. Yeah. And Sunday, I'm not talking to anybody. They're going to putt everything. I don't care if it's 4 inches. I'm going to make a putt it. I am going to be that guy.
I love it. Okay. I love it.
I came in at a great time. Conversation.
Talk about dominate. Talk about not giving anything. Casey Graham out there, cutthroat. So, good question from Casey. Rick, your third team now. What have you learned from the past two teams that you've played on that you're going to take into the weekend?
It's a long round, especially on Sunday. So the first one, I got a little. I had ups and downs the whole day, and it was tough. Yeah, it was tough. I got behind a few holes, and then won 3-4 in a row. Got up a few holes, and it was just this up and down. My emotions were all over the place, and probably burnt a little extra energy where it didn't need to. Yep. The second one, I learned a little more about. Okay. It's a long round on Sunday, and be focused, and also the time. That's a big thing. It's a 5-hour round. It's a 5.5-hour round. It can be a real long one, especially deciding how we're going to go. Yeah. And so I want to hold it in control, and that's where I think it comes from me as a guy that's usually. Laughing and kidding and joking around and having a good time. I think on Sundays it's better for me just stoic, keep focused. Yeah. It's going to be 5 hours. Let's just go one shot at a time.
And I feel like going that silent mode. Honestly, like when I do it, I feel like that takes way more energy out of me than it does, because I have to try and stop myself from talking and stop myself from just going off all day. And that to me, I think it's really, really cool that you're able to just kind of, especially at this point, this is your third team. You have that mentality. I know how I want to go out and play the course, and how I need to kind of manage myself. And I think, especially with a lot of the rookies on the team, that's something that you can kind of bring to everybody. Like, hey guys,
long day, take your time. Especially the young guys that haven't played before. That's how I was on that first one. Not young. the day before, and it was up and down, and run out there and get behind a couple holes, and the big panic came on, and then won a few of them and thought, oh, I'm going to coast now, and that didn't happen either. And you see shots. I mean, shots just happen. A guy holed out from 180 yards on me.
Yeah.
And you're like, you can put him away here, and then really. Okay,
and
next.
I mean, and in match play, like, I think it's such a good mentality to have that, like, they're gonna. I assume when they hit their approach shot in, I assume that shot's made.
Yeah,
and I'm not gonna react to it.
Yep, I agree.
I think that's such a good call out where don't let what your competitor does at all react. Don't let them see you react. Don't give them anything, because when they make that putter, when they hole out from 180 yards, they're celebrating, but they're looking at you to see
what you're doing.
How bad did that just hurt you?
Yes,
and that's stoic. That's stoic. Like, hey man, you won the hole. We still got a lot.
Yeah, here we go. The next
shot. We got a lot more golf to play.
Saves me a stroke.
Yeah, and that's such a good mentality to have. And so, and obviously you are our sponsor this year for the South Texas Match Play Challenge. Tell us a little bit about Elevated Logistics.
We are we've been around since 2010, and we have now kind of morphed into we're a same-day delivery service, and we specialize in pharmaceuticals. One of our biggest clients is HEB Grocery, and we deliver for their pharmacies across the state. Fantastic relationship, man. When they say a Texas company and working, they don't list you as the regular company you're working for. They call you a partner. Yeah. You are a partner. We sit down with them on everything that we do, and it's always a great partnership. We want to see this. Can you do this? I can do this. And that they have been fantastic. I couldn't ask for a better client to work with. We put all into it, and we've been blessed by them. They have really taken care of us. And, now we're statewide, so it's pretty neat.
That's awesome, and that's and that kind of is the same sentiment that we have, in regards to the tour and Elevated Logistics and all of the great groups that we get to work with. Everybody here is everybody that supports the tour, especially like Elevated Logistics, is just one of those. It's a company that we know we can trust. It's a group of people that are super reliable. You talk about pharmaceuticals. I mean, you need the medicine that day. That those things are things that can't wait.
Yeah, they can't wait.
And
it happen now. And so
it's having that sense of urgency around supporting the people that you're working with, but then putting that kind of effort and that support into stuff like this.
And we love it. I want to be a part of it. And we've talked it over. I have a partner in business, and he and I have talked it over a lot. He's actually going to caddy for me this week.
Oh, nice.
So it's great. That's Bill. And he and I have talked about it a lot. And this is something we want to be a part of, where, when they're looking at the South Texas tour, and then they can look at, Elevated is one of their sponsors all the time. Yep. We're just there. We want to be a part of that. And I get no deliveries. I don't get anything out of this. I'm not worried about the advertising. This is giving back to something I have some invested in.
Yeah.
We do our own, we do some charity stuff during the year and stuff, and we don't take from that. We try to add every year to that something that we can. But this is something, it's kind of giving back to something that both Bill and I like to do, and we love to play when we can, whenever we can get away. But it's just that little extra, So we like being associated with this, and we're happy.
And we're always, it's one of those things when we get Elevated Logistics patch on the shirt. we know we're playing for San Antonio. We know we're playing for the tour that we represent, but we're also playing for those people that have taken the time out to make sure that we can do these things.
Oh yeah, there's people across the state that love it. My drivers across the state, the ones that know me and know we're playing this stuff, they want to know what happened. They want to know what's going on. And I'll get calls for a week after. What'd you do? What happened? How'd it go? So it's exciting.
Yeah, I mean it's always, you think about where the tour started, where we are now, the last 4 years, even just that big shift over the last couple of years. The tour has turned into something completely different, and we've had such a cool opportunity to get with our amazing tour members that also happen to be able to, bring that support to the tour. And, again, like myself, Travis, Bird, the rest of the ambassadors, we're incredibly grateful and very proud to represent Elevated Logistics, represent the tour, and make sure that, we live up to, what we're here to do.
And you do a great job. We're thrilled. We're happy. I try to get the podcast. I'm trying to catch them when I'm live. I do watch them later, but I'm trying to be there when they're live, but work is work. And I was in Dallas yesterday. I'm here today. I'm hoping I don't have to go anywhere tomorrow. So for the weekend, I'll be in San Antonio. But we move around quite a bit, and cover the state. So it's something we want to be a part of. So I love watching the podcast and see what's going on and trying to get in online.
Yep. And you're going to have Bill on the bag. Are we going to see the missus out watching? Are we going to see any of the kids out watching?
It's going to be tough. She's in Dallas right now.
Okay.
We swapped today. So we have our granddaughter our last granddaughter is up there in Dallas. And so she went up there to visit her daughter and her husband and then watch the baby for a day or two. She's going to try to come back. I'm hoping she'll be here for Sunday. So it kind of just depends on how much fun she's having with the baby.
Now, let me also ask you this, because my expectation, and I'm telling every single one of you out there, if you got nothing going on Saturday, if you got nothing going on Sunday, you love the tour, you didn't make the team, but you want to show up, be a little bit louder, make Houston know we got people here who like golf, and we got people here who support. Come on out. How do you feel about playing in front of potentially groups of players?
Oh, I love it. It doesn't bother me a bit. We have a group that we play together, and we're anywhere from 20 to 50 guys. We do, and we're on each other the whole time. So when you go to that first tee box, it's loud, and everybody's on you the whole time, and so we enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly nice when you don't have 45 other guys heckling you.
Exactly.
If you can play through them heckling you,
oh yeah.
Play through anything.
Getting up on a putt and somebody's throwing dollars on the day. Them ones are okay. When they start turning into 20s, you can't make it. You can't make it. Oh yeah, you can. So it makes it a little more fun on the greens. But we're definitely excited. I'd love for a lot of people to come out.
Yeah.
I wish they would come and watch it and see the guys that didn't make the team. Come out and support it. Take a look at it. Next year, you can come from anywhere. And I know Travis says it all the time. I can tell you as a player, you can come from anywhere. Just get to the playoffs.
Yep.
Just get there.
Just get to the playoffs.
And it becomes, it's a whole new world.
Yep.
Anything can happen. So.
And I think there's something to be said about, we were talking about it earlier about the people who made the team, and looking at some of the people with the higher handicap, traditionally higher handicaps that made the team, because they put in a lot more effort than anybody else in their flight, maybe.
Yeah, they're working hard to play.
But I think there's something to be said, too, about if you didn't make the team in the playoffs, or if you just haven't made the team before in general, I think coming out to watch, not only to cheer on people, but to get a better understanding of what that environment is like, is such a great learning experience.
To see the tournament play, and I know guys have played, and this year and in several years maybe haven't made the team. And they're at home. How do you get over the hump? What am I doing wrong? Well, you got to come and see how these guys play. Come watch these young guys. Come watch these guys that are at it. The championship flights and stuff, and see how they play, see how they manage the course, then take that back with your handicap, whatever it may be, and try to emulate what they're doing. And you may be 11, 12 handicap, or 15, 20 handicap. try to go out there and play like, Jeremy. See where he hits the ball. Now, the drives are the drives, but watch how he moves around the course and see what he does and try to take that back. I was a hacker when I first came on this tour. I was swinging it every day. I'm thinking I'm going to make birdies all the time. I didn't see a birdie for 6 months one time. But I think you learn to play within your game, and then good stuff starts happening. Yeah. And you get that first one on tour. And you're hooked. And you're hooked.
And it's, last year I had won for the first time in almost 3 years. And I remember getting that first win, and I'm just like, holy, okay, I broke through. Now there's nothing else to prove. I can just keep going out and play. And I think the other big piece of it is, too, is, playing with good golfers. Hey, I'm an okay golfer, but I love going to play with Sean Vidal, getting to play with Jeremy, Steve Evans, because they are, probably 2 strokes, 3 strokes better than me, but I learn their mentality. I learn every time I play with those guys, and to your point, it's something that I take away and I'm trying to implement in my game, just so I can have, if I can do half of what they're doing.
Exactly, and that's what I do. Hey, they're 12. They're 11, 12 strokes on me. I think Jeremy, I'm going here 11 handicap. He's giving 3, of course. So there's a big change between me and Jeremy. But you watch them and you learn. I got to play last practice session with Sean, and you watch the game and you see what they do. And like I said, try to get half that. Yeah, that's my mentality. Try to get half that. And when I'm blasting away and I see these guys taking irons out and hitting to this area, and I'm thinking, okay, well, why aren't you doing that? Because they know a lot more than you do, and they're better than you, so do that. And I made some mental changes in our practice round, and got to play with Mark. Great dude. Guy is awesome. And he's one spot from the team full time. He's a substitute this year, but great player and great guy to play with. Oh my gosh, he was. I could play. We could drink some beer together and play a lot of golf. Yeah, that kind of guy. So I really like to see the guys that are not there yet come out, enjoy it, see what it is, watch a match or two, follow some of these guys, and pick something up and take it to the course next year. Absolutely. Because you get that first win and you're hooked. Yeah, man, you want to play every week there. My wife knows, if I didn't have this, she would not know what I don't know what I would do around the house if I did not have this tour. I'm too competitive to not.
Jonathan Harder would like to come on.
Jonathan Harder.
I figured I'd come give Rick a break. I turned around, Rick was still on the camera.
Yeah, we're still going.
So whenever you just
bring me Harder.
Okay. All right, Rick is staying on.
Rick can stay on. If he wants to, you want to go hit some balls? You want to go get some reps in?
No, I was hitting about 15 left turns. I was trying to bring it around that red thing and get me a couple light poles at the same time, just to see if I could do it.
I got here at 3:30 and was banging balls for 2 hours just because I knew I'd be doing this.
Yeah.
And I'm exhausted.
Coming in to join you guys.
Jonathan Harder, welcome to the program. Hey, fellas. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. Beautiful night. This is a fun time.
It's perfect. Perfect weather.
Sure.
How's the practice going?
It's probably not the most focused, productive
most
practice
productive
I've ever
practice.
had, but it's a laid back, fun practice. I might be getting most out of just watching everybody else hit balls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You see other people doing it different, hitting it awesome, and start thinking about how to make your ball do that.
And God, if I could figure out how to do what Steven Evans and Jeremy do to a tee-ball.
Oh my God.
I
just watched it hit driving, and I said, "Oh, is that how high I'm supposed to hit it?"
Was that?
And I started thinking, is
that the launch window that I'm supposed to be in? That's interesting. Yeah. Jonathan, not your first team this year. You are returning. Last year was your first year, correct?
Last year was my first year, first time on the team.
First time on the team.
That's right.
Leaps and bounds. You were playing well last year, but there is. Talk to us about the the improvements and the gains that you've made over last year, because you have been playing great.
Thank you.
The last couple of weeks.
I wish I had something I could point to that was different, but just sticking with it. I've got a really good teacher, really good coach. I share a teacher with Jeremy Harmio. We have Rob Myers teaching us, and he's awesome. He's taught me from the very beginning. Like, to say last year was my first year out here, and really my beginning with golf. So I've been with him since I basically started playing. And what else? I don't know. Play a lot of golf. Can't help but improve a little bit here and there. But I don't know. I've been doing a lot of the same stuff. Just keep on doing it.
So what did you take away from last year? Obviously, we had a lot of success out at High Meadow. What are you taking from last year's match to this year? It's a little bit different environment. We're the home team.
Yeah.
But how is your strategy changing, and what's your mentality just on approaching this season? This year?
I think that this year I'll be a little bit more comfortable. I was pretty nervous last year. I mean, it was good nerves, you know what I mean? I tried to really harness that. But this year, I've just got kind of like a calm confidence going into this. So I think I can just be a little bit more still. I can be a little bit more focused and be a little more deliberate.
Are we going to see your wife on the bag this year?
For sure. For sure. Yeah, I wouldn't do it without her.
There you go.
We're a good team. She sticks with me through the entirety of the year with encouragement and all that stuff, and it's only right that she gets to be here for the end of it too.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, I think we can all learn a little bit from her as far as match play goes.
Yeah.
Her run at San Pedro.
Yeah.
This year was something special.
That's right. Who better to have as a match play teammate than one of the very best for this year.
Yep. So that's awesome, man. Who are you partnering with? For those out there who don't know, who's your partner this year?
I got an awesome first-time team member named Tim Blunt. Our games match up pretty well. We hit the ball similar distances. We have similar demeanors on the course. Played with him for the first time this past Sunday, and we got along really well. When we had the champions dinner, our wives met. They got along, so I'm liking the partnership.
Yeah. How is that? Obviously, playing with a rookie, you've got some time on the team now. Has he asked you, or has there been any discussions about just how to prep going into this, knowing what you know now?
I had such a good partner last year. I had Dustin Hassan, who I feel like was like the perfect first-time partner to have.
Pretty much.
And here I am in the cart with Tim, trying to think of all the great stuff he told me, all the great advice he gave me. And I wish he could ride around with us and continue to give me advice. But I'm trying to take all the best bits that Dustin gave me and bestow that upon Tim the best I can. Tim's a good player in his own right.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
He doesn't need a whole bunch of advice. He had a really strong end of the season. So give him advice when he's looking for something, but pretty much letting him play his game and stay out of his way because he's a good player.
Yep. Have you guys kind of built a strategy around Riverside? And now that you guys have, at least from a sense of, hey, which one of you wants to tee off first,
sure,
and that kind of thing?
Yeah, I think we've come up with that. What we did this weekend works really well. I think we hit a few shots that we want to hit different come tournament time, and I'm glad we hit the shots that we did, because we found out maybe this isn't worth it here, or we really do got to be aggressive. The matches I'm playing in and the matches Tim and I are playing in together, I think I need to be pretty aggressive. We're giving up a pretty good handful of strokes, and I think I got to be balls to the wall and try to make birdies.
So let me throw this out there to you, because we haven't talked about this yet. Obviously, we played this Sunday, starting off on the true hole number 1.
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we are going to be flipping nights.
Okay.
So technically, we are starting off on the 10th. Does that change kind of the mentality, or does that change the strategy around that Saturday round?
I'm not sure. We do have another practice round there, and I want to try to get a better, as good of a feel for Riverside as I can. It's one of the courses I've played the least, so I stand to learn a lot. I've just learned as much as I can about it still. I don't think it'll change my mentality so much. I mean, I think I'm giving 15 pops, so I got to go out and just try to play aggressive on every hole.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I think one of the big things is, for you as a better golfer, and you're giving 15 pops, I mean, honestly, you really just need to play hard golf.
Yeah.
And then when you have that opportunity to go get that birdie, just go freaking get it.
Well, that's good advice.
And that's the thing. Like, they make, I think one of the best things that you can do, one of the best strategies to have out there is like, don't play out of your game. Don't play out of your capability, but go just, I mean, it's not a terribly long golf course.
That's right.
You can scramble and make a lot of good pars. There's a lot of good birdie opportunities out there. But if you're just making pars and you're having that guy who is a 15 handicap, potentially that person who doesn't know the golf course, that person who is, you know, and when you're at that handicap, there's consistency. Sure. There. Pars win. Sure. Pars, or at least pars have all.
That's cool.
So
that's great advice.
I mean, it's one of those things to go out there and not. So I think everyone wants to put the pressure on. I got to go out and I got to go make a shit ton of birdies.
Sure.
But you don't. You know, that's the big thing.
Unless you're Jeremy. Unless you're Jeremy, Stephen Evans.
You got to go out and guys. They got to just
like.
Get their head.
Well, how do you think Riverside as a course sets up for high handicapper versus low handicapper?
I think what it really comes down to, I mean, because the golf course is so wide open, you know, it doesn't necessarily hurt you if you're not as accurate off the tee. There's a couple of holes there that the trees can eat you up.
Sure.
But I think more than anything, just being able to hit greens. If you're just, the main focus is just greens and gray.
Sure.
Because when you're getting around there, especially thinking about how we're not doing lift, clean, in place and that kind of thing, more than ever, you want to be in the short stuff.
Sure.
You want to be able to have a clean shot at the ball, because if I'm in the rough and that thing is sitting deep, it's not like I'm going to get potentially a good chip out of that.
And a 15 handicap is going to, you know, he earned it.
Yeah, sure.
That's right. And a lot of people think about it, oh, he's hitting on pops. Yeah, but okay, you're not going to hit the middle of the fairway all the time. He's a 15 handicap. So he's going to hit some stuffs. And, you know, him hitting out the divot and you hitting out the divot, not the same.
Sure.
You know, so there's going to be, what I found is there are a lot of opportunities for a guy that has, let's say, 15 and up, because we're hitting one that's got 25. And, you know, they're going to earn the handicap.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
They're not going to hit a lot of fairways.
Sure.
They're going to be in the trees. They're going to be in some of that dirt and stuff over there. And, you know, rolling in a divot for them is monumental just of it. That's just
even
breaks them down quick.
Well, even in the sense of, you know, standing over a mud ball.
Oh yeah.
High handicappers are people that just don't mentally come in saying this is a possibility. The moment they get over a mud ball, it automatically becomes, well, this is going to be a bad shot.
Sure.
And if you can be in the mindset of, okay, it's a mud ball, but I'm going to set expectations for what that shot should be. And as a better ball striker, someone who's a lower handicap golfer, you can control that shot better and be able to kind of, again, even if you're at a disadvantage with the mud ball, you still can execute a shot that results in something that gets you on the green to go make your par, go make your green.
Right.
I watched Weston hit two different mud ball shots that, I mean, caked on mud.
Yeah.
And we talked it over. We said, okay, this is, how you want to hit that shot. He executes it, and he puts it on the green. And how he's getting to clean that ball up, and he's looking at a bird.
Sure.
And so just having that mentality of whatever happens is what it is. I just got to go keep playing the game.
Yeah.
I think it's such I don't think we talk about that enough. I think it's just go play golf, stay in your capability.
Sure.
Don't try and stress yourself out.
Sure.
And go have fun with it.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Go have fun. I mean, everybody that's here worked all season long to make it to this team, and I think the big reward is how much fun it is to be on this team. You know what I mean? Yep. Love to win, but I really love being on the team.
And I'll ask you both. Obviously, for you guys both, not your first time on the team, what is your favorite part about the South Texas Match Play Challenge team and being a part of that? Like, what's your favorite thing? We'll go Rick first.
Getting a closer relationship with players that I don't normally get to during the year. You know, I'm going to play in, I don't know, what's it, Division 2, I think it is, or whatever the grouping is. I'm usually in 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't play with a lot of guys, in second place. There you go. I don't play with a lot of guys in the first flight or the championship flight unless it's a, 2-man thing.
Yep.
And I've been, had the great opportunity to play with some really cool guys in that when we play 2-mans. But, I don't see them all year. You see the name on the board, you say, oh, I know the guy, what he's done, And then out here for a week or so, we get to be together all the time. We're playing. And I'm going to go and watch them when they're playing. They're going to come and watch me when we're playing. We're going to live, we're going to root for the great shots, and we'll be sad together on the paddles. But at the end of the day, you get to form a team you don't get to during the year. And you leave here, next season comes around, and you see guys out there. First time I met Jeremy 2 years ago on the team in Houston, and 3 years ago, and I was like, we became friends right away. We had a few beers and stuff. Now we can go out on the tour or something. We meet each other, see each other, hey, or restaurants. Hey, what's going on, bud? My wife's like, who's that? He's a friend of mine from golf.
Teammate.
My teammate. Yeah. So you get to establish that, and it gets to stay with you. Yeah. It stays with you. It's not a year thing. It's not 2 years. 4 years ago, and I still remember all those guys. And so I think it's you get to establish a new friendship, and it can carry on through this game that we play. That's what it does for me. I love that.
Jonathan?
It's got to be the bag, right? The golf bag?
Yeah.
No. For me, the most rewarding part of this is the pressure. Like, we just don't get that many opportunities to play with this kind of pressure. Whether it be the first tee shot of each one of our matches on Saturday or whatever it is, but like, it's rare that you get this many eyes on you. It's rare that this many people care about what you're doing. And it's rare that you get to play for other people besides yourself. You know what I mean? I want to go out and play for my teammates. I want to go out and play for the guys that played all year long and just didn't quite make it. You know what I mean? I want to go out and give my best effort, because there are guys that would love to come out and give their best effort that just didn't get to this time. You know what I mean? But the pressure for me is like, just put you under the microscope.
Dude, I love the pressure.
Yeah.
And I told Travis, I'm like, I don't feel any pressure now just because of the horse race. I'm like, nothing's going to be worse. Nothing's going to be more pressure than that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this isn't anything.
Sure.
This is let's just try and copy it.
Yeah.
But like, I love getting to watch. One of my favorite things is getting to watch these guys, especially the rookies, come out, play, and guys who come out and play well.
Oh man,
watching guys that watching some of the players that they've grinded, and I think about Art Mason. I'm gonna keep watching Art all weekend because that dude has worked so hard to make this team, and he spent years doing it and getting to this point. Here he is. There's no one I'm rooting for harder this weekend than Art. I just want to see him win a match. I want him to have that moment.
I want to see that fist pump when he wins a match. Like, I want to see it.
Like, that to me is like one of the most fun things. Like, I love watching those big moments. Dustin Weldon on 18 last year on Saturday making that putt. Watching Laz and watching some of the guys hit some shots out of like the woods and out of nowhere to nothing. And just watching the team come together. I also think that Saturday night group coming together was just such a blast. Just sitting around in the hotel.
Where's the party at this weekend?
I already brought that up. The first thing I said to Travis.
Wondering what's Saturday night.
The first thing I said to Travis was, because we'll do the dinner on Saturday night, but it's like, Trav, we got to go. Last year, that 2 or 3 hours we sat there in the hotel was just such a meaningful time, I think, and it was such a good time for everybody. I think what we're kind of planning on right now is just come back here. Sure. We might home court. Yeah, we might have kind of a similar setup. Like, we might just come out here, hit balls, bring some drinks, and just hang out and just talk about
bring a
today.
sleeping bag.
Yeah, shit, I'll do it. If it's like this out, I'll sleep out here
Yeah.
all day.
I'll give us a cake.
Oh yeah,
Surprised there wasn't one.
I'll talk to Travis, work that out.
I'm down.
They want to put it out here, or
I mean,
put it up there. I don't care. I'll
get
get us
the-
a cake. We can sit around and have some beers.
Like that was the most. I mean, last year I think that was still probably my favorite moment of last year. Was just that night, just sitting around with everybody, and just bullshitting all the day and talking and laughing and making fun of shit.
Yeah.
It made that team building and that I want to go win for my team today so much more meaningful. On
That's right.
Sunday.
Yeah.
I agree.
So really cool experience. I'm super excited to be back on the team. Excited to be playing on the team with you guys. It's, I mean, this is just one of those. It's one of those events like everybody wants to be here. And to your point, it's like appreciate the moments here because there are people. There's 700 other people that played events this year that wanted to be on this team, and 20 of them are here.
There it is. Yeah.
It was a 0.09% chance or some ridiculous percentage chance of making the team. If you make this team, if you can't believe in yourself as a golfer, I don't know what to tell you, but I do know that there is a laundry list of guys that are like, I should have been.
Sure.
Yeah. And that's where, and that gets you going for January when Monster Day comes and it's like, this is my season, this is my year, I'm putting in that work, let's go get it done.
Big time.
And it's always fun, especially for me, just because now I talk to everybody now, just everyone between this and everything else with the tour. It's always cool to have people come up to me that I either don't know or that I do know, and they're like, "Hey, I wanted this year. I wanted this year bad. Yeah, you guys made it. You guys looked like you had so much fun. That looked like such a cool thing, and it truly is.
It is. It is.
I mean,
if you think you want to make this team badly, make it once, and then tell me how badly you want to make it.
I mean,
You can't wait to get that.
I mean, when last year was my first year making the team. It was nice to get it done in the summer and be kind of relaxed in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But I only thing I can think about all year, I'm like, I want that team again. I need to be on that team again because that is, I learned more about myself as a golfer.
Oh yeah.
In that short window than I do all season sometimes.
The pressure teaches. You know what I mean?
It's unteachable moments.
You get next to other great golfers and it teaches you something. You play a match against someone and it really means something and it teaches you something.
Yep. Jonathan, are you? I keep hearing rumblings that you're working on a song for the tour.
Yeah.
Is that a thing? Is this real?
It has to be, right? It must be. Maybe I should work on a song that comes out in the second installment of Match Play Mayhem.
Match Play Mayhem Edition 2.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Soundtrack by.
Hey, there you go.
I told you this. We were getting ready for the playoffs, and I'm sitting there practicing, and I'm thinking about all this stuff and getting ready, and I'm thinking about everyone I got to play against, and I got my music on, and I'm like, oh, I'm listening to Jonathan Harder right now.
Yeah.
I had one of your songs on while I'm on the range, and I'm like, motherfucker, it's already in my head.
That's right. The music is just a vehicle for me to psychologically,
Yeah, if you play it backwards, it says you suck at golf.
Yeah.
That's friggin' fantastic.
Well, thank you, man. That's awesome. That's really cool to hear.
My daughter even listens.
Does she?
Oh yeah.
Oh, man.
She's a music connoisseur.
Okay.
We
got great taste, clearly.
We've got everything. We've got everything covered from Sinatra to. She was belting AC/DC last night.
We're all over company.
Yeah.
And she will say, "Daddy, play Jonathan." Woo! She knows it, and I just put it on the TV, and she goes.
I love it. I love it. Well, I'm a fan of y'all now. That's amazing.
I guarantee you this weekend when she's here, if I'm like, "Hey, you know who that is?"
Really?
She'll be like. She'll lose her mind.
Oh man,
she might be more excited about you than she gets about Travis, and that's saying something because that girl.
What if I recruited Travis into the band? Then he becomes the ultimate.
Then he's in nothing. boggles my mind more than when I FaceTime Emma and I'm in the room with Travis, and she'll ask me, "Is Travis with you?" And she'll like, "Can I talk to him?" And I'm like, "What the hell?
No.
How is he your favorite?" But that's Travis. He's a child. He mixes well with the 4 and 5-year-old.
Charismatic figure, no doubt.
Well, I do think adding the band would bring a different level.
A different level of energy for sure.
Yes.
You'd have to up the tempos. The songs would have to get.
You're gonna have to go back to like early 2000s for him. Though.
I think, yeah.
You're gonna.
I've noticed based on the playlist for tonight.
This is. That's the thing though. For those of you out there, if you can hear the music Travis is playing, Travis is stuck in like 2007, and that's just where his playlist lives. But he hasn't changed the playlist in 8 months. It is the same playlist. I was helping him build a garage at his house, and we're putting framing up, and it's just that music on repeat for 10 hours. And I'm like, Travis, can you just give me a break? Something else, please? Like anything else? But you know, it's Travis. I work for him, so it is what it is. But guys, appreciate you both hanging out.
Oh man, so fun.
We'll let you get back to the socializing and having some fun. It looks like I brought out my my launch monitor.
Yeah, I can hear him over there.
And that eventually turns into a pissing contest of who can hit the furthest drive, who's got the fastest swing speed.
Yeah, I just heard my partner hit 124.
Yeah.
I gotta go watch.
Well, good. I don't need to get up there then.
Yeah, I'm not gonna swing.
Like all I know is that my launch monitor thinks I'm getting way better right now.
Yeah, that's right.
That'll make me feel better when I open the app later. And it's like, damn, dude, you got a lot better. Like, yes, I did. But we'll let y'all get back to it. Go have some fun, have a beer, hang out, and we appreciate it, guys. It's gonna be a good weekend. Let's
Sure
get it
is.
done. Appreciate it. Thanks, man.
Amazing.
Thanks, guys.
We'll see you, Mike.
Alrighty.
Viewers, people of the South Texas Amateur Golf Tour, we are an hour and 3 minutes in. I'm sure you're tired of seeing me. I don't blame you. A lot of comments, and guys, I apologize. I am sucking at the comments right now. Mark Kacheski.
I don't have time to stick around. I apologize. I am heavily needed on the range. Love you all.
If you find something for me to drink, I would appreciate it. I've been doing a lot of talking. I appreciate that.
That's what I'm doing, all right?
Mark Kacheski, everybody, just doing things that are important for the tour. Oh, I feel rehydrated. I do apologize, guys. I am not doing a great job in the comments. Casey Graham, who's winning the long drive tonight? No idea. I would assume it's Jeremy. Fun fact, I got up to 104 miles an hour. I swapped out a different driver, and I picked up some yardage, so I'm very excited about that. But it was fun up until everyone else started to hit off my launch monitor, and then I went back to B&B. So I'm going to say Jeremy. See if we can find someone else to talk to. Oi! Anyone want to talk?
I got a Danny Lee coming your way.
You got Danny Lee coming my way. Okay.
But after that, I got a Dave Thomas coming your way.
Ooh, Dave Thomas. I want them both. Bring me them both.
Danny Lee's smoking drivers right now.
Danny Lee and David Thomas will be joining us shortly. They're just doing their thing, guys. They're on the launch monitor, and they are having fun without me. Am I jealous? Yes. Do I wish I was there? Yes. But I'm here with you guys, and that's pretty great too. Guys, we are coming live from San Pedro, South Texas Match Play Challenge. Practice session live. It's a little bit chaotic, as you can see around me. We've got 25, 30 odd players here, family, friends, caddies. It's a lot of golf right now. Everyone's going to be, I think, exhausted by the time they get home. Everyone's sitting on that launch monitor, seeing how hard they can swing. It's freaking exhausting. It's exhausting. Let's go ahead, though, and Brad Gilbert Brad Gilbert working up a sweat there.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
The highest swing speed on the monitor so far, 124 miles per hour. Guess who did it?
Jeremy Harmon.
Yes. Good guess.
Not even a hard hit.
Oh, did you already know?
No.
Oh, okay.
I would have just assumed that that's Jeremy.
Yes.
He hits the ball. I was telling the guys, I was like, everyone's on my launch monitor. My launch monitor thinks my swing speed has gotten so much better this evening than it was when it started.
Yeah, for sure. The only problem is that it hit a blue Tesla out there when it hit it. So, dang it.
Hey, as long as you didn't get an alarm, a notice from your phone, like
I just replaced that windshield literally today. I actually replaced the windshield today, and he probably just posted it again.
I mean, if you are down at the other side of the driving range of San Pedro and you are hit, I would imagine that's Jeremy Harmio, potentially Stephen Evans. Steve Evans confirmed for me he did drive 17 on
I
Sunday.
heard that. I heard, yeah, he's just on the green.
To like 6 feet.
That's unbelievable. That's crazy.
It's disgusting.
I know Ben Carricker almost drove it. He was pretty sure, but I think he just missed it. But yeah, man, we have some long hitters on the team.
We have some very long hitters on the team. We have some very tall people on the team.
Yeah,
you can tell Danny Lee
Look at this
right there. Danny Lee.
Danny Lee. Hey, man.
Danny Lee working up a sweat.
Dude, we're not into the cold weather.
Yeah, exactly.
It is cold. It's perfectly fine.
I'm like sweating harder than I normally do.
This is what happens when you put a launch monitor around a bunch of guys with egos.
Well, I've never got myself measured before, so I just want to see how far I can.
So smooth swing for Danny Lee is about 110 apparently.
I would imagine. I mean, when you're
I'm not athletic, so he goes up to 113.
when you're 6'5" and you know
Yeah.
a smooth swing for you is my swing plus 10 miles an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's me swinging hard. Danny Lee, first-time team member.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about the South Texas Match Play Challenge? You're playing here at home. Is that easier for you to be playing at a course you know versus being on the road?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up playing Riverside, so I'm really comfortable doing that. Super excited to make the team. It's a little different given pops, right? I mean, normally I've been against guys that are the same 0, 1, 2, 3. So that'll be a little bit different, but I'm excited. Really good guys.
Who is your playing partner?
I got Bob North.
You got Bob North.
So basically, we have two old guys that just like to keep it chill.
Bob North.
Yeah. So I want to talk about real quick if we can, and I don't want to derail anything, but Danny Lee shot, what was the background score in Brett on the last day of the playoffs? 31 on the back.
That's right, you were there.
Yeah, I was front row seat. Let's walk us through that round.
So, yeah, that first round, I had a rough front nine, shot 39, right?
I think we all kind of struggled on that front nine.
Well, it was just, you knew what you
Hate
had
that
to
front
do.
nine.
Exactly.
You had to, you were trying to get to a certain number. You were seeing how many guys you could beat to get enough points. And it was just one of those things, you try to grind it out, try to hit good shots. That shot on 11 from in the trees, I would hit it right off the tee. Hit it in the trees, had a small gap.
Yep.
Hit an amazing shot to 6 feet.
Unbelievable shot.
And that really kind of turned it around after that. I mean, I really didn't miss a shot coming in.
I agree with that. I agree. I think actually me, MD, and Danny Lee. Who did we have a fourth?
Yeah, Mark, right?
Mark, that's right, Mark. Yeah, we all kind of struggled on the front nine, but it was so impressive to watch you because I felt like I was playing good at the turn, and I felt really good, and I was trying. Yeah, exactly. And I was like, I just got to keep up with Danny. I'm just going to keep up with Danny.
Yeah.
And then you just, all of a sudden, you hit a second gear and you took off, and I could not keep up. And it was just impressive to watch.
Well, I was fighting my swing the last 2 days. And that first night I was trying to manage it. I figured if I could get to the back nine and even or 1 over, 2 over, I can shoot a few under par. And that last 5 holes, it finally clicked, and I just hit a lot of really good shots and made some putts.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So it worked out. I mean, it's good to find it at some point, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I wanna bring in a guest, David Falconer. If you are ready, I'm ready to bring you in because I would like to talk to both you and Danny as first part-time team members.
Have a good evening, Bob North.
Bob North is saying goodnight.
Yeah.
Your charity awaits.
He's so steady.
Oh,
He's gonna be
yeah.
a great partner.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm super thrilled with how that worked out. I don't know how Travis picked him.
That's awesome. Yeah, and you played in all the hill country.
God damn it.
as well, right? Yeah, so he was
I played with Lost Pines, and he's a super
Hey,
steady.
Bob.
That's awesome.
Bob,
Bob North?
I'm playing your game tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. Have a good night.
Have a good night, bud. All right, guys, let's go ahead and bring in David as well. David Falconer joining us. Good evening, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. How are y'all doing? Sorry about being a little late. I dozed off.
Oh, hey, man. No worries. We are not short of people to talk to, so you can take all the time you need. But
Appreciate that.
David Falconer, welcome to the show. Your first time on the team this year. You and Mr. Danny Lee here. How are you feeling about it? How are you Are you excited? Are you nervous? How are you feeling about this?
Actually, I'm really excited now. I was nervous Saturday during the practice round, but after about 4 or 5 holes, I settled down and played really well together. Steven and Evans and I played really well together.
I mean, yeah, that's such a good partner to have.
Tell me about it.
I mean, playing with Steven, like, are you learning, are you taking anything watching him play and saying, I want to kind of apply this to how I'm approaching the round today?
Yeah, I watch him and it helps me settle down. We discuss shots and stuff, so it's a kind of a calming effect on me, and it worked out really, really well. And plus the fact that, what was it, Danny, on 16, he drove that green, 10 foot putt for an eagle.
That was rough. We were 2 up in our Michigan sim, 2-14, and then David hits net 1 on 15, net 2 on 16, and then Steven drives it to 16 on 17, and I'm like,
I mean, good Lord, what a stretch.
That's a good preparation.
Yeah, it was. Eye-opening.
And I mean, David, you grew up playing and you've played Riverside for years. How do you feel about how do you feel about being able to play this event here? What does that kind of mean to you?
That means so much to me. It's like getting to play on your home field. And, I think I told you guys, I think the first time I ever played Riverside was 1974. I was still in my early 20s then. So, yeah, it's pretty cool.
And we have a question coming from our very own Casey Graham. Casey Graham out there keeping the chat alive. I'm not doing a good job reading these and getting them up there. So much going on. I'm a dog chasing a car. David, what's the partnership mindset going into the match on Saturday? And has there been any talks between you and Steven, just how you guys want to approach that round as far as playing the golf course, playing against the competitor? What have you guys kind of done to get ready as a team?
Yeah, well, we were playing Sunday. We talked about, the things that I needed to do, especially with all the pops that I get. And, I've got a pretty simple job. I think there's like 4 holes or 6 holes I get 2 pops on. The rest is 1. And so basically it's just make a bogey or better, and we're good. And you don't have to do it. And you don't have to do it every hole. Maybe 6, 7, 8 of them like that, and we're good.
And I mean, it's got to be nice to have a partner who, to be honest, he's got to take a lot of pressure off you, because Steven Evans is Steven Evans. He might have to give some strokes, but the man is consistent. Does it feel that way to you, where it's like you just kind of get to relax a little bit?
No, it's he can hit the ball so far. It's amazing. His drive, and then from that point on, though, and once I settled down, I would muff a shot here or there, but I got into a little bit of groove, and I was playing pretty good. My chipping was good. My putting was excellent. And I like on, was it 14, 15, the par 3, I hit my tee shot with an 8-iron. I was going to use a 9, and Steven goes, well, no, use the 8. That's the better. I'm like, okay. So I hit my 8-iron, and it went right over the flag. And from where we were, it looked like it could have been a hole-in-one. It disappeared. But then I was about, maybe 5 feet off almost from being off the green in the back. And then, so I had a, 30, 35, 40-foot putt. I don't remember, but it was long. And it shot like 4 inches from the hole, from the corner. So I had a par. Yeah.
That's awesome. Crazy. Oh, my goodness.
A net
So you
zero.
never
I want to do that. What is that like?
Just 2 more times, David.
Hey, I was very settled down on my putting, man. It was there all day long. I felt real good putting.
That's awesome.
I mean, so Danny, you guys obviously played together this weekend. You guys finished the match tied?
We were one down. Lost one down.
Okay,
Yeah.
lost one down. I mean, I gotta think, David and Steven are a really good example of actually some of the matches we're gonna see. So obviously with you and your partner, one down to a very similar kind of situation, how do you feel that playing against them kind of prepped you?
No, it was absolutely a great practice because I'm so used to not thinking about generally what other guys are doing, right? If you're playing your own round of golf or even with a partner, sometimes you're just like, you're hitting your shots, you're doing your thing. But you really have to pay attention to where they had shots, where you needed to kind of grind out. We actually made a mistake in our group on hole number 7. Bob had a shot, and we both hit it on the green. He was a little further away. He putted up there a couple feet. He marked. I hit my putt, missed it. They gave me that one. He picked his up, and that would have won the hole. So it was one of those things. Like after we did that mistake, made that mistake. It was good to do it at that point.
Yeah, do it in the practice.
Yeah,
don't do that during the match.
Really pay
Yeah, I
attention to
remember that.
Yeah.
But no, we last. It was a lot of fun playing with them. And like I said, after about 1 and 2, I was a little bit still intimidated, but on number 3, on the par 3, I was off the green to the right a little bit, and I hit the tip from there to about 4 feet from the hole and made the putt for par, and that's the one that really settled me down. And from there on, I was okay.
Nice.
Yeah, and Steven really coached him up. I mean, you could tell he was talking through shots and trying to get the best out of each situation.
And that's something Steven does so well. And Steven historically gets a rookie on his back with him because he's really good. Like he just has a natural ability to coach players and bring out the best in them. Now David's a solid player, but it's cool because you have Steven Evans who he's so calm. There's nothing about that round that he's worried about, that he's able to kind of coach you to a point where, because he can do that to me. When he and I just play for fun, he'll say something to me, and I'll just like, oh shit, that makes so much sense. Like he has that ability to kind of step back, and I'll give you some insights that your mind might just be going, a mile a minute, and he brings you back to earth. So I gotta think. I mean and I think it's two of the friendliest guys out there as well between the two of you. But maybe one of the scarier partnerships as well.
I would want to play against him again.
I mean,
well, David has to play him on Friday.
Yeah.
So I mean, very, very cool. And of course, David, obviously, Shelby AC Refrigeration, the presenting sponsor of the tour this year, presenting sponsor of Tour 2025. How exciting is that for you to get your shirts and get your gear and start seeing Shelby AC on the patch on the shirt and see that kind of stuff?
I haven't gotten the shirt yet, but the one thing I thank God for is my pants are pretty good, so I was happy about that.
Yeah.
That is.
That's something right.
Hey, you got some stretch pants. That was good.
I
hear you.
Like, I knew I ordered those pants, and I'm like, first thing I did was I texted my mother-in-law, I'm like, hey, I need you to hem.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't make 28 inseams for me. Like, it's.
I'll just say last year I got the size a little bit wrong on the pants. I had to squeeze into those bad boys. This year.
Well, because Travis likes to order European cut.
Yeah.
And he wants.
Not a lot of European cut guys out here.
Yeah, we look
hard.
exactly like what peak golf athletes look like.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
And it is not European cut apparel. Travis is like Travis's happiest moment right now is the fact that he and Steve Evans wear the same size. Like, that's what he's been working for all year.
Yeah.
I think
So,
I was that size when I was 10 years old.
Yeah, I don't think I ever had that size.
My partner. Have a good night.
That is Jeremy Jaramillo and Ben Carricker. Art Mesa on their way out. They Steve Evans running off as well. We have shout out to Sabrina Sadowski, who is currently running the limo service, bringing players to and from their cars back here on the range at San Pedro. Endlessly entertaining, but we are starting to see the numbers of players dwindle. I think Jaramillo just kind of made everybody feel really bad about their driver, and now everyone's like, "Oh shit, I got to go practice a little bit more." You know what? I need to go work out, or I just need to go to bed. David, what are you most excited about this weekend going into the event?
Just being able to play against the Houston team, that's pretty exciting right there. And I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to go. It's going to be a blast.
Are you going to have? Do you have a caddy on the bag this weekend?
No. Just me.
I thought you were going to get your son-in-law to.
No, he can't make it. He's opening up a new house over in Galveston that they have.
Gotcha. Are you going to have any fans out in the gallery this weekend?
Yeah, I'll have some friends from that side of town. School
There you go.
to watch. Yeah.
That's awesome. We keep talking about it. Anyone who is out there watching, anyone who plays on tour, anyone who's got a family member playing in the event, anyone with a friend playing in this, come watch, come hang out, show up for San Antonio, show up for this team. Make Houston feel a little bit of nerves with the eyes on them. Let's build some big galleries. Let's go out and have some fun. And I mean, it's such a cool event. It's such a great weekend of golf. And I think honestly, we have an uphill battle. I think we do. It's realistic here. We're giving away more strokes than historically we have. But I can also tell you, every year, you want to find out who the most dedicated people on tour are? They're back here. They're sitting here. They're on the screen. Nobody wants it more than this group of 20 guys. So I'm really excited to see what everybody does. I'm excited to watch, especially the rookies, the first-time players out there, getting to go hit that first tee shot, getting their first match win. If you get that first win on Saturday, it certainly amps you up for Sunday. So it's just such a cool thing.
I'll just say, MD, we might be getting a lot of strokes. Whatever that number is, they're going to need more. They're going to need more.
I would agree. I think we have a team of players here that, one, are all trending in the right direction in their game. I think their handicaps. I think we're playing better than our handicaps. I also think we have a home course advantage. I think we have arguably I think just leadership advantage in the sense of we have Sean Vidal with nine stars, Steve Evans with 5. You've got Dustin Weldon with 7, 8. I mean, we've got a lot of people that have been around the block here. And every single person here, I would argue, every day of the week, we play under more pressure, and we play more pressure golf than anybody.
That's what the tour's all about, getting better. Like, nobody out here is trying to maintain a handicap. We're trying to get that handicap as low as possible. South every time.
Yep,
so,
absolutely.
That's what it's all about.
David, on your side, so you've got a great partner in Stephen Evans. You've gotten to get some time in practice with him. Throughout the season, where do you feel like you've made some of the more leaps and bounds of improvement that have kind of gotten you into position now where you're going to go to Riverside and go compete? Where do you feel like you've seen the most gain or the most improvement in your game through the season?
My irons, hitting my irons are straighter, playing a lot better with the irons.
Absolutely. I mean, and are you getting a lot of time? Are you getting the time to go practice? I know you're so busy. You're working all the time.
I belong to a club here, so I play probably 3 to 5 times a week.
There you go. I mean, dedication, people. There you go. And again, I think that speaks volumes. I think you have guys like David, you have guys like Art Mesa, you have a lot of golfers that really said, this is the year. I want it this year. They put in the effort to go do that practice, to go. I know Art Mesa worked on, getting in shape and spending time at the range. You've got David who's putting 3 to 5 days a week at the range. Like, doing that stuff, I think, speaks volumes to not only the dedication and commitment to the tour, but to also that level of improvement. And I think that's such a cool thing. And I think it's something that everybody who wants to make the team, who has gotten close or who hasn't made the team, like, you guys are prime examples of what you need to do to get there. It's putting in that time and effort. It's not 2016 where 80 players, 76 wins in champ flight.
Yeah.
It's every flight is competitive. Every flight has the guys in that flight, has the guys and girls in that flight that you're like, oh shit, they're playing today. I got to bring my A game. And the people, nothing is earned. Well, nothing's given. But the rookies that are here right now are the people who put in the work this year. I think that's just really great, really cool. It's such a good mix of rookies as well across the flights that are represented as well too. Is there anybody out there that, aside from obviously getting to play with Steven, have you gotten to talk to any of the other players that have had time on the team, like Sean Vidal, and kind of picked his brain at all, or picked Dustin's brain, or maybe Jeremy, for just kind of insights and thoughts around these kinds of events?
No, over the years, I've talked to Greg. We used to be partners the times that he would make it, and he and I are always talking. And I think two times I followed him. And when y'all were playing in San Antonio against the Houston team, and I walked. That was so. And I've walked the experience. Watching great. I'm looking forward to it being on me this time. On me to be part.
I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, I'm going to do my best to not look at how everybody else is playing. Like,
I'm a watcher. I gotta watch it.
I'm a scoreboard watcher, but like, I mean, I even said it during the playoffs. Like, I was watching Art Mesa more than I was paying attention to my own shit. Especially on the front nine. But like, I get so excited for David and for Danny and for the guys that haven't gotten to be in that position, hitting that first tee shot, and that Saturday morning, grabbing breakfast here at San Pedro, getting in a little bit of a practice session, getting to the golf course, and stepping up to that first tee shot. And most people, we've talked about it on the show. Not everyone's aware of it yet, but we are actually flipping nines for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So we'll be starting on 10, which I actually really like. It makes number 9 our closing hole, which a little bit more dramatic. But it's such a cool experience, especially when you're in one of those first couple of groups and you've got your team watching you, and getting that that first tee shot kind of through. Are you nervous at all about that first tee shot? Or is that just like, hey, I'm just playing golf today, I'm gonna go up and play my normal?
Yeah, no, I'm from playing at the club, so much. It's like it's a little bit different. Yeah, you have the weight of this is a real big deal. So you need to hit a good one there. But I'm comfortable. Like when we practiced Sunday, I hit a real good drive, real good second shot. It was the third one I flopped up. But other than that, yeah, I was.
And I know we asked you if you had a caddy. Casey Graham asked Brad, but I will ask this to Danny as well. Can we expect to see Andre on the back for you this weekend?
I'm actually going to have Brian Perlberg on the back this weekend. Yeah, so
okay.
He was really excited about because he wants, Brian's been doing a lot of practicing. He hasn't played a lot of tour events, so he's working on getting back to tour. And he wants to see what he's missing. Yeah. And I was like, I can't deny that.
Yep. So. Danny, I know your wife's not caddying for you, but
yeah.
Do we have a caddy lined up?
No, I no caddy for me. My wife will be there. I think my parents are going to try to come out and at least walk 9. I think my in-laws are coming on Sunday.
Nice.
So we're going to have some family out there. Historically, when my wife watches me golf, I don't do as well. So she knows, and I think the closer she gets, the worse it gets. So she's going to be out there. I'm playing about as good as I've played in a really long time, so I'm not concerned about that kind of jinx.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm excited to have friends and family out. I'm excited to play with Bob. I know his family's going to be out there, so we're going to have a really good time.
Awesome, man.
You played good at TPC, and she was there, right? She was there at TPC.
Yes, and she was. Well, I mean, yeah, it was a tough day, right?
Yeah, it was a really tough day.
So she was like, "Well, you don't seem like you're playing bad." I was like, "Well, this is a really tough day."
Yeah.
So, yeah, she thinks she had an effect on that day. I was like, "No, it's just the 35-mile-an-hour wind that we had."
Yeah, exactly. That's tough.
My wife gets in full panic mode if I'm like, "Hey, you want to come to this event?" She's like, "Are you sure? You sure you want?" I mean. Saturday, and she was supposed to be there Saturday at Brack, and then she was planning on coming Sunday. I got off the 9th hole on Saturday. I text her. I'm like, it's not going good. I wouldn't come down here. And I played great the back 9.
Yeah, exactly.
Sunday, it's worse than yesterday. Don't come. Played the back 9 great.
Played great.
But she's going to be here.
Hey, guys, I'm going to have to go pick up a grandson real quick. So I'm going to have to run, but I will see you guys Friday.
Awesome. David, thank you so much. Thank you for your partnership. Good luck this weekend, and we look forward to seeing you Friday for our next practice round, bud.
You got it. See you guys Friday.
Well, David. See ya.
Yeah, my wife, she caddied for me one time back in my angrier days, and maybe like 2017. And she vowed to never come to a golf tournament again. And I've recently, last 2 years, I've been significantly calmer. And she slowly started making her way back. But now she's playing golf. Now she's getting into golf. So she is. She will be watching. My daughter is coming, but she's really coming for Maddie, Stephen Evans' daughter. They're just peas in a pod when they get together.
They're pretty raucous there on Sunday.
Dude, they were. I have probably the most exhausted I have felt in a while. The two of them just jumping all over me and trying to just kill me. But it's going to be such a fun day, and it's going to be great to have the families out there. And I think it's also really important, too, that they get to kind of experience, like, my wife hears me talk a lot about the tour and talk a lot about you guys and about everything that I'm doing. But she doesn't get to see it. She doesn't get to like experience what I experience. And it's cool to kind of bring her or bring my parents or getting to see other people's family out here to see what this is all about. Like what you're giving every other Saturday or Sunday, what you're giving that time to during the year,
or the practice during the week,
or and I've said it a couple of times this year. Like shout out to the spouses. Casey Graham, you are not blocked. I'm really not doing a great job answering this.
I see them all over there, Casey.
I am not doing a good job with this, guys. Like we're having really good conversations.
There's
a lot going on. I have failed drastically. I have done my best to put up questions that you've asked.
Casey wants me to ask questions. So
oh my God, Casey's texting me. Casey is texting people on the panel.
All right, let's just start at the top.
So let me go back to question number 1 of 800. And
we got some Danny questions. Okay, here we go.
Okay, Danny, does this bring back any golf fields from? Oh man, Pennock, I remember that.
Interesting.
That was
I think that's why Travis created this, because he loves captaining a team so much.
Oh my
like
God.
he loved that Harvey Pennock red versus blue.
That
it was exciting. Yeah, I think this is Travis's like dream, just to captain teams.
I mean, the Pennock was so much fun.
Yeah.
Like, and you think about a lot of the players that you see on tour today, like a lot of them got their start at the Pennock.
Yeah.
Like, first person I think of when I think of the Pennock is Jason Bird. That was Jason Bird's first time in 2017 ever coming out to the tour. I played with him and Jason Cross. And Jason asked me, he's like, "You want to play together in team events?" And he and I played together for 2 years.
Really?
Every event together. Yeah, we used to be dominant as a team. And then I was, then he left me for DeCosimo. Which
Can't blame him.
Can't blame him. I mean, he really is same temper, but just better golf out of DeCosimo than me. So, I don't blame him. I've had a medley of partners since. I
put you up against him now, though. Yeah,
you are my forever partner as long as you'll have me.
There we go. I'm stuck.
Yeah, you are.
I'm just kidding. I love you. Indeed.
Which is harder to manage? Both sides. Okay.
Oh man,
that's a good one. You've been on both sides of the spectrum, pro side of the tour, and now as a player, which is harder to manage? It's a good question.
Man, I have so much respect for Travis and Sabrina and the ambassadors for how much time and effort it is. I remember when it was just Travis and I doing all this, the sign-ups, all the back-end stuff, getting there at 4:30 in the morning to prep carts, and that's way more work. This is enjoyable. Like I can come out here and shoot 80, and it's like it sucks, but it's not that big a deal. Travis and the work that the ambassadors do, it's so hard, and kudos, props, like everything to Travis and his team. I mean, he's worked so hard to get something off the ground that was nothing. You know what I mean? Like he started from nothing and has built something that is really cool in our city. And I love Travis. We've known each other for a long time. I worked for him. We've gone back a long ways. And so I'm just glad to see him in a good place, the tour in a good place.
Yeah.
It's just really cool.
That's awesome.
There you go. Another question for Danny. This one comes from Cassie Graham. Danny, you mentioned that you were battling your swing last week in the playoffs. Have you since found what was missing in your A game?
Think about it, Brett.
And is it ready for this weekend?
So it's absolutely ready. I played really well last Sunday at Riverside. One of the things that I've learned is I've played golf for so long and know the golf swing pretty well. I know my golf swing, and so I know what my misses are and what I'm doing when I miss it, so I can manage it. So like when we play Brack and you don't want to miss them right, I'm okay with snap hooking it left and being the other fairway and playing golf that way. But I know how to hit, if I need to hit a straight shot or if I need to hit a cut, like I know how to do those things. So I manage it way better now than I used to. I also don't get upset about hitting bad shots. Like if I snap it 5 times in a row off the tee, as long as I'm fine, I'm okay with that. Like I can play the next shot and keep going. So just learning about, figuring out what you're okay with and then just being okay with not being perfect. The guys on tour aren't perfect. You watch those guys, they hit a handful of really terrible shots. I'm not nearly as good as them, so there's no reason to get upset about it.
And that's a good point because I've always thought, when you see all these highlights on tour with these professional golfers, it's almost always from a terrible shot that they hit this highlight shot. So they got into a bad spot somehow by hitting a bad shot.
Tiger was the best at that, right?
Exactly.
Tiger hit a lot of terrible tee shots.
Exactly.
Tiger forever was terrible off the tee. And, I mean, but if you go read any book, you look at his mentality was like he knew he wasn't great off the tee, but he spent the better part of his youth being practicing out of the worst conditions possible, worst positions possible, because those shots are going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And he's also really good at the other shots.
He's really good at he's good at the shots when they're in perfect condition. But I think that's such an important thing though, is to be comfortable with the discomfort.
Yeah.
In being able to stare down, we were talking about it earlier, playing the ball down this weekend, that mud ball. What is your mentality standing over that mud ball? Do you say that this is going to suck, or do you say, here's what I need to do to get the best result? And those are the kind of things that, for us to be successful, giving the strokes that we're giving, for us to be competitive, for us to win, the mentality here has to be, there's nothing that's going to be uncomfortable for me. I want to look and feel so comfortable. I want my competitor to feel almost uncomfortable with how comfortable I am.
Yeah.
And that's, and for you as a player, when you're playing, do you tend to talk to your competitor? Do you tend to, or do you like to go kind of silent?
So I'm an introvert by nature, so I'm pretty quiet most of the time. As a matter of fact, people that are chatty it bothers me probably more than other things.
Right there with
So I like to focus. I got a lot of voices in my head.
Yeah.
So I don't have room for other people to get in there and talk to me.
Yeah.
That's why you just gotta say it all out loud, like I do.
I used to be
get it out of your head.
I used to talk a lot. I used to do exactly what you did. I was I see me 10 years ago is what MD's at. 10 years, MD, you'll be where I'm at. We're just nothing bothers you. You never curse. You never throw clubs. You'll be good.
You'll be 6'5".
You'll be up there,
dude. If I have to, I'm okay. If you can promise me I'll be 6'5" in 10 years, I will do whatever I need to do to be patient. Oh my God! Don't tempt me with a good time. I don't even know what the world is like from up there. That was why I told my wife when I got home from the horse race. I was like, I think that was the hardest thing I've ever had to do, was to be that quiet and that serious.
Yeah, you did phenomenal. I played with you a lot down the stretch and in the playoffs, and that was the most focused and the best golf I saw you play. And it was awesome to watch. It really was.
I told Weston, I kind of felt bad because I'm like, I know now that what I did there, and I went back and not to be whatever about it, but I've gone back and watched it a lot because I'm trying to just watch what the hell was I doing?
Yeah.
And I told Weston, I'm like, hey bud, I'm not gonna talk to you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to be in a zone because I don't think I'm gonna play my best golf if I talk.
Yeah.
It sucks, and it's going to be the hardest thing I've ever had to do to not talk to you because you and I get along so well.
Yeah.
I'm like, just be aware. I'm not going to say a lot of words.
But Wes is kind of quiet anyway.
Wes is quiet in general anyways, and I think Casey, and that's where I appreciate Casey Graham as a caddy, because he'll do the talking, and he keeps my mind occupied.
Yeah.
I don't think you cannot. And with Casey doing all the comments while he's out there, it is what Casey does as a caddy for me is unbelievable. It's truly dude, here, drink water. Here, chew on something. Here, he got my moving all over the place brain to zero in.
Occupied,
So, oh my God, everybody! Huge news. 10,000 comments tonight, but finally one that wasn't Casey Graham. Scotty Williams is out there not contributing anything to the conversation, but certainly letting Casey know that we are not avoiding him, but his comments are coming through. Guys, we are at an hour and 45. I'm gonna let you two get back to some practice, hit a few balls, socialize a little bit. I am gonna shut this thing down because I would love to hit a golf ball or two, socialize, and get my practice in a little bit more. I've been here for, what time is it? 9 o'clock. I've been here for 6 hours. Guys, I would talk to you.
I appreciate you, Andy. Appreciate everything you did, man.
Hey guys, thank you so much for hanging out.
Yes, sir.
Love you. Excited for this weekend. Danny Lee, Brad Gilbert. Guys, we are shutting it down. We are live from San Pedro, finishing up our practice session here. Travis, we are getting ready to close it down on the show tonight. Talk to me, I guess, before we get off the air here about this. How did this go tonight? I've been here the whole time. I've gotten to talk to people, but obviously I didn't get to hang out with the group. How was that? It seemed like a great team building.
This team is so fun. Sometimes when you captain, it's more than statistics and strategy and numbers. You're captaining personalities as well.
Yeah.
And there's just none of that this year because everybody's personality just kind of jived right with everybody else's. And when player A needs range time by themselves at the end, everybody just got it. And it's really cool. And this team is just so different because they're just so connected. And everybody just, it turned into a social night.
Yeah.
There were swing speed games.
I said the moment I put the launch monitor out, it's a pissing contest and just an absolute. All of the serious practice went out the window the moment a launch monitor.
Yes.
Who's got the fastest swing speed? Let's go.
And the setup looks so cool.
Yep.
And what you can't see on camera is somewhere 40 yards behind me is another TV with the podcast playing with the volume on, so you can kind of watch. So I saw David Falconer come on. And Ricky Ho stayed on for
hung out for a while.
And it just turned into this really fun night that was just perfect for what everybody needed. It was awesome.
Yeah,
it was really cool.
That's great.
Thank you to everybody watching. Thank you for hanging out with us. And thank you, MD, for not practicing. Your horse race winner, everybody, Mike DeManuelian. What a great job. I saw Danny Lee on here, Jonathan Aryer, David Thomas I saw. Danny Puckett was pulling people away for interviews. Matchup Mayhem 2.0. Check out on the website. There are sponsorship opportunities for the docu-series. We'll have Danny Puckett on next week, maybe. This weekend. We'll have him this weekend. Oh my goodness.
We very well. I would think we're probably going to get some interviews going on Friday during the practice, and certainly on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, I would think we'll do some Facebook Live intro stuff Saturday morning, and we'll do follow the Facebook page. That is the home for everything South Texas Match Play Challenge.
And I've been preaching it all night, been saying it all night. If you're in town, if you got nothing to do, if you want to come out,
come on
the
out.
Riverside, support your San Antonio team.
It's a great fall walk in the park.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be
some cool golf. I think it's going to be great golf. Riverside green complexes are in such good shape right now. I think it's going to be really good golf on top of really, really cool camaraderie.
And we were talking about it earlier, and I said we were talking about it in the sense of, for a lot of people who have worked to try and make the team, haven't made the team in previous years, maybe they're new to the tour and want to see what it's about, but want to understand what it takes to get to this position and what it's about when you're there.
And what you get when you get here. Heck
yeah, come check it out. Short of playing in it, watching it is just as dramatic. Watching it is just as much an experience. So it's really, really cool. And it's going to be, it's going to be a fun weekend. It's not going to be the last time you hear from us. It's not going to be the last time you see us. But we are getting ready for Friday practice rounds. And then Saturday morning, 7 a.m., we're here at San Pedro getting breakfast and reps in. And
heck yeah, the team email kind of turns just a skosh more serious tomorrow.
There is a shift in tone.
Yeah. Friday's practice rounds are singles matches. one more opportunity to play a round of golf with your partner. Maybe share some strategy even in the singles matches, because you're not necessarily going to play together up there. That could be it. One more practice round in Friday, and then bright and early here Saturday morning, team meeting 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Hot breakfast here at San Pedro. Shout out to Javi and Chef Roy here for taking care of South Texas Match Play Challenge food and beverage needs. Fantastic team dinner coming up Saturday night. Some chef carving stations. Sounds awesome. I'm super excited for it.
So good.
I saw the box of protein go from the meat market to San Pedro the other day, and I'm excited for it. So lots of logistics, lots of operations, but really switching from operations to captain mode.
Yeah.
The theme this year is unapologetically tour, and we are going to put the pedal down, and Riverside's a place to make birdies, and we got a team that makes birdies.
Yeah, we do.
And that is what we are going to do this weekend at Riverside. Follow along live on Golf Genius. That link is all over the Facebook page and the website. And come on out, like MD said. There's nothing better than live applause.
Live applause. I couldn't agree with you more. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Really, really great night for the team, getting some practice in. Great night getting to hang out with you guys, answering or at least giving the impression that we're trying to answer all of Casey's questions.
Yeah, the comments looked like they were flowing too.
Dude, so I had openly admitted I sucked at doing this. Casey was fucking on fire in the comments, and I did a relatively piss poor job because the conversation was flowing so well. That being said, I did my best to get caught up on it, but thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us tonight, and we are looking forward to seeing everybody out there on Saturday cheering on the team, and going out on Sunday and bringing it home. Woo! Guys, thank you so much. Have a great night, and make sure, come hang out with us. Come cheer on your San Antonio team. South Texas Match Play Challenge kicks off Saturday morning. Be there or hurt our feelings, but whatever.
Woo! Match Play Week, everybody. Good luck. Let's go STX AM Tour. Woo!
South Texas Amateur Tour Podcast, The Power Hour, with your hosts, Travis Silkowski, Michael Termanuelian, Casey Graham, Jason Bird, and Brad Gilbert.